Hello, yogi friends. I have a seated grounding sequence for you designed to help release tension in the body, ease the mind, and soften the breath. If you happen to have a yoga block, that could be a useful prop for today's sequence, and if not, a large book would do the trick. Find yourself in a cross-seated position. Legs could be out in front a little bit more or tucked underneath you, and you're welcome to have a seat on this block to give you a little bit more lift and make that cross-seated position more comfortable. Close your eyes, take the palms down on top of your knees, root down in your sitting bones, and then I want you to grow a little taller all the way up to the very top of your head as if there is a string lifting you up skyward. And then lean back ever so slightly as if there's an imaginary wall behind you that you can rest into. Take a moment here to feel those sitting bones grounded down, to feel the length in the spine, the lift through the upper body. And then we'll start with some breathing. Exhale completely. And then inhale. Take a nice full deep breath all the way in. Open your mouth and exhale with a sigh. Breathe in through that open mouth, nice and fully, feeling the lift and the lengthening as you breathe in. And then find a full exhale with a nice deep sigh, letting everything go. Again, inhale, feel that lift and lengthening. Nice long breath in. Open mouth, exhale, nice and long. As you breathe in, feel your belly expand. Feel your chest broaden, feel your spine lengthen. As you exhale, make it dramatic, breathe out deeply. Feel your body soften. One more time, inhale, lift and lengthen. Exhale, release and soften. We're going to keep that same breathing pattern and add a little bit of movement. So all you're going to do is start to lean forward a little bit, lift your heart up in the front, drop your shoulders down the back, lift your gaze out in front. And then exhale, you're going to pull your belly button in, lean back and round through the back, drop the chin. Inhale as you rock forward, lifting your chest, lifting your gaze, dropping your shoulders, our seated cow pose. Exhale as you draw the belly button into the spine and round through the back. Inhale fully, lift and expand. And exhale deeply, round, release. One more time. Inhale, lifting. And exhale, round. Come back to sitting up nice and tall. Hands go behind, lift your feet, uncross the legs and cross them the other way. Find that nice long spine again, all the way up through the top of the head we lift. And then we're going to add the arms. Inhale, reach up, stretch your arms all the way to the sky. And exhale, release your fingertips back down to the ground. Make contact with the earth. Find your sitting bones rooted down as you inhale, lift, grow taller, but stay rooted. Exhale with that big, deep sigh as the arms drop down. Inhale again, stretch through the inner elbows. And exhale, release down. One more time. Inhale, lift and lengthen the side body, stretch as high as you can. That big sigh on the exhale. We're going to stretch the arms up again. Inhale, lift and reach. This time, drop that right arm, float it behind you, turn through the ribs. Take the front arm to your right knee. Take your gaze out to the side. That back hand is on the ground for a little seated twist. And then inhale, lift both arms up through center, turn to your left. Drop that back hand, let it float as you turn. And then right hand to the knee. Lift your gaze out to the side, not down. Inhale, lift and lengthen. Turn through the ribs. And on the exhale, let the arms come down. Take the gaze to the side. One more time. Inhale, using the grounding position to reach from. Using the ribs to turn from. Exhale. Inhale your way back to center with that big lift. And exhale, release the fingertips to the ground. This time we're going to stretch the legs out in front of us. Press through the heels and lift through the toes. Bring those hands beside you, heels down, fingers forward. Press into the ground. Press so firmly through your heels that they pop off the ground because your leg muscles are engaged. And then feel the contact between the back of the legs, the calves and the thighs and the ground. Feel your sitting bones. Push down, lift up. Our stick pose here requires a little bit of leg strength and a lot of grounding. Release heels to the ground, but keep the toes up. Inhale, reach your arms all the way up again. Keep that spine long. Exhale, bring the hands forward with the fingertips up. You're reaching through the heels of the hands and the heels of the feet. Inhale, find that length in the back. Exhale, fingers down and reach through the toes. Inhale, lift the toes and the fingers, push through the heels of the feet and hands. Exhale, reach through toes and point those fingers down. Nice long arms. Inhale, reach fingertips up. You're stretching the inner elbows. Exhale, reach through the toes, fingers down. One more. Inhale, lift and reach. Keep that spine long. Nice big sigh on the exhale as the fingers reach and the toes reach. Inhale, fingers up, toes up. Make a fist. We're going to rotate feet out and wrists out. Make little circles. Rotating through the wrists and the ankles, creating space. Use the breath. And then we'll reverse the direction. A little brain training as we move both the feet and the hands at the same time. And then come back to center. Inhale the arms up. Exhale, float them down to your sides. You're going to draw that right knee in. Sit nice and tall, up on the sitting bones. And then we're going to lift that right ankle and lay it on top of the left thigh. Again, flexing the feet so the toes are reaching towards your shins. Take your hands back behind you. Lift your heart up here. Gently pushing the knee down. You can stay right here with the leg long, or you can bend the bottom leg and lift up a little bit taller. So notice if you're rounding in the back and you've dropped your chin and you've got a little bubble in the back, I want you to lift the belly towards the thigh. And then if you have a little more room, that bottom leg walks in a little closer. Top foot flexed, right knee pressing gently away. Inhale, lift. Exhale, feel the sitting bones into the ground. One more breath. Inhale. Exhale, slow and deep. We're going to take the bottom leg and bend it so the ankle is underneath this right knee. You have a choice. This top leg could come in front of the bottom leg, or you can leave that ankle on top. And if neither of those are good, you can go right on back to having this leg long. From here, sit up nice and tall. Flex the feet again. Lift up. Inhale, reach the arms up. Exhale, bring the hands down in front, whether they touch the ground or not. And this is where that block might come in handy. You can slide it right around and make your arms a little bit longer. And then we're just going to lean forward without rounding. Keep that spine nice and long. The block can slide out to give you a little more room. If you notice that you start to round through the back, I want you to back up a little bit. And then find that sticking point for you. And take a nice deep breath in and a full breath out. The shape of our legs is getting us a nice stretch in the outer hip, particularly the top outer hip. And the length in the spine is going to create some space in the back. Notice again the grounding of the sitting bones into the earth. We're stretching out from there. We're not lifting them off the ground. Take another breath. Look at the top of your mat to lengthen out through the top of the head, and maybe a little more depth as you exhale. As you rise up, just a nice light rounding through the back to lift up nice and tall. We're going to inhale, reach that right arm all the way up, and then again turn through the ribs as we did earlier. And drop that right arm across the top leg. Either catch the foot, or if you've got that top foot on the ground, you're going to catch the knee. And lift that back arm up. Bring the bicep right by the ear. And then we're going to lean towards the right. Hanging off with this right arm nice and long. You're hanging off the connection between your arm and your knee or your foot. And though the top body is flying and it's aloft, the bottom is connected to the ground and grounded. Take your gaze right out in front of you so your neck is lined up with your spine. Inhale again. And as you exhale, maybe find another 1/2 inch lean, nice long right arm. On your next breath in, rise up and exhale the hand down. You're going to bring your hands back to center. Lift up, uncross the legs and set the feet to the ground. Lift your heart here and wrap your hands behind your thighs. We're going to keep this nice long spine and tip back just a little bit so you are perched on your tailbone and your sitting bone like a little tripod. And then maybe you come to your tiptoes, using a little bit of core strength. Maybe you float your feet off the ground for our boat pose. Feet can come right out from the knees if you'd like, or they can stay down low wherever you're at. Watch the bubble in the low back. We want to keep a nice long spine. Inhale, lift your heart, take your gaze above your toes, and exhale, release the feet down. This time we'll stretch that right leg out, left leg out, sit up nice and tall, and then bend that left leg, catch the left ankle, prop it on top of the right knee. Sitting up nice and tall, fingertips behind to help give you that lift of the spine. Press through the right heel, root down through the back of the right leg, lift your heart. Stay if this is working for you. If you want a little bit more of a stretch in the outer hip, then you're going to bend that right leg, set the foot to the ground, lift your heart up again. Top foot is still flexed and the knee gently pushes towards me. Inhale, lift up. Exhale, deep sigh. And again, don't shorten your breath. Inhale, lift. Nice full inhale. Exhale with that big sigh. And then go ahead and bend that bottom leg so the foot comes out to the left. And you choose if the top knee is stacked over the ankle or if the top foot comes in front. Try not to bring your ankles in too close. We want them parallel to the top of the mat so you get into the outer hips. Inhale, lift up here. Reach the arms up. And exhale, bring those hands down in front. Block is the option here. Slide it around, prop it underneath your hands. And then slowly slide it forward, lengthening out, not rounding. Take your gaze out in front to help lengthen the spine all the way up through the back of the neck. Take your breath in. Exhale, stay and lengthen. Inhale, find that expansion with the breath in. Exhale. On your next inhale, you're going to round gently, roll your way back up. Sit nice and tall. And then inhale, lift that left arm up, stretch it way up. Exhale, bring it across the front, catching either the bottom knee or the top foot, depending on where this foot is. And then inhale, lift the right arm up. And exhale, start to lean to the left, hanging off your connection, hand to foot, feeling the groundedness of your base, the soft lightness of the upper body. Take your gaze out in front of you so your neck is lined up with your spine. Inhale. On your next full exhale, see if you can soften over just a little bit more. Feel the opening in the side body. One more breath here. Open mouth, exhale and sigh. And then inhale, return that arm to the ground. And exhale, return left arm. Take your feet back down to the ground, knees are up, feet flat. Hands come under the thighs, lift your chest. Stay right here if you'd like. Or find that little bit of a nice long spine leaning back. Maybe tiptoes, testing the waters. Maybe you float your feet up. Reach out through the toes, spread the toes if you can. Inhale, lift your heart. And this time, maybe you exhale and reach your arms. Inhale, lift, take your gaze above your feet, look out in front. Exhale, a little shaking is just fine, tapping into your solar plexus here, your powerhouse. And then feet come down, lift up nice and tall. Extend those legs out in front again. Fingertips by the sides, pointing forward. Lift your heart up, press through your heels, active through the calves. And then exhale, release the feet to the ground. You're going to bend those knees again. We're going to take the feet off the mat over to that left side. And then drop that front knee so it's lined up with your front hip. You're going to tip forward and the left cheek comes off the ground. That right ankle is lined up, the right knee is lined up, and then take your left knee and line it up with your left hip. So we create Z legs or 90-90 right here and right here. Bring your hands around to the front, press fingertips to the ground and lift up. Block again is a nice option here. You can certainly use that and move it with you as we go through this 90-90 pose. Slide your block over to the right if you're using the block, and if not, you are just going to walk your hands over to the right. Fingertips to the ground. Your left knee is going to press to the ground and your left hip's going to come forward a little bit. Try to keep this right leg glued to the ground. Turn to the right. Lift your gaze out in front of you. Fingertips or palms to the ground without rounding. Inhale, lift. Exhale completely. So finding a nice opening to the front of the hip here. Now we're going to leave the right hand where it is. Take that left arm, sweep it in front of you, lift it all the way up so the bicep is next to the ear. And we're going to find that side lean again. Bending the right arm, it could actually slide forward so the elbow is underneath the shoulder. You're going to find a nice lift to that left side of the body as you lean in. Take a breath, take your gaze out across from you. Exhale, let everything go. Now you're going to turn and look down at the ground. Your belly's going to turn towards the ground. You're going to bring that left forearm or fingertips to the ground so that you're back in that start position, but just a little bit deeper. Press into the ground. Press the left knee into the ground. Move the left hip forward as you turn. Inhale. Exhale. Walk your hands around to the front of your mat. They're going to line up right in front of this front shin. And then we're going to start to lean forward in the front. Try to keep the right thigh down, the right hip down, the knee and the ankle all on the ground. They don't move. Forearms, long arms, or even again, the option of using the block to make your arms longer, to give you a little more lift, to keep this spine nice and long. If you'd like, you can take this left leg, extend it long to the side. It can stay there. Or you can bring the top of the foot to the ground, turning this hip down towards the ground, and maybe walking that foot behind you, all the while leaving the right hip on the ground. This is our pigeon pose. Inhale, lift and lengthen. Exhale, the breath is going to help soften the muscles, soften the tension, ease the mind. Inhale, lift and lengthen. Those who want to go a little bit farther, keep the length in the spine. Exhale down. One more, nice deep breath, full belly breathing. And exhale, soften. Walking your hands back in, find that gentle rounding through the back just to lift up and lengthen. Bring the back leg around to 90-90. Set that back foot to the ground, lift the front leg, walk your feet around to the front. And then fingertips behind you, lift your chest up here, lift your gaze up. Take a breath that expands your chest and exhale deeply. Walk your feet over to the right, off your mat. And then you're going to lay this left knee down right in front of your left hip. Line the left ankle up with the left knee. We're going to take the right leg, line that right knee up with the right hip. Line the right ankle up with the back knee. Walking your hands in front of you. Fingertips help you lengthen. Walk around over to your left. That right knee stays pushing into the ground. The right hip is going to turn slightly forward. Rotate around. We'll start with the length first. Fingertips, lift and lengthen. Take your gaze out in front. Block is the option here. Inhale. Exhale. Breathing in, feeling the rotation through the hips, the grounding through the legs. And then option to use the block or not. That right arm is going to come around in front, lift it up, bring the bicep by the ear, and then start to bend that left elbow. Feel free to slide the block as you go. Feel free to bring your forearm to the block or forearm to the ground. Lifting the right side of the body up, making a little arc through the right side, pressing that right knee to the ground, and take your gaze out in front. Inhale, right into that side body. Exhale, release. Inhale, exhale. Turn and look at the ground. Either bring the forearm down, rotating through the ribs, or come back to those long arms, even using the block again. Stay here. Just a little more rotation through the hip area, through the low back. Breathe in. Breathe out. One more. Inhale, feeling everything connected to the ground. And exhale, let everything go. Walk your hands back up. Walk them around to the front. Option to bring that block with you. Hands on block or ground. Start to lean forward without rounding, stretching out. Remember, there's a string on the top of your head, stretching out your spine. Forearms, long arms, block with the option. If you want to stretch the back leg long, reach it out at an angle. Maybe the top of the foot to the ground. Maybe you walk that foot all the way directly behind your right hip. Keeping this left leg connected to the ground is what's going to give you the best stretch out of the left outer hip. Inhale, find that length. Exhale. Take your gaze towards the top of your mat. Again, breathe in, lift and lengthen. Exhale, maybe you find a little more depth. One more breath here. Deep exhale. Walking your hands in. Send that back leg so the knee is lined up with the hip. Set the back foot to the floor, lifting the knee. Set the front leg up. Walk your feet around to the front of your mat. Square your hips up behind your feet. And then fingertips behind. Lifting your heart. It's pressing forward and up. It's a little bit of that cow back. Chin comes in. Lay the head back a little bit. Take a breath. It's going to expand your chest. And exhale. Keep the lift, but soften. Another breath here. Inhale, opening that front body, feeling grounded through the feet and the sitting bones. Exhale, release your tension. Sit up nice and tall. Bring your hands forward. We're going to roll our way down to the mat by scooping the belly in, rounding and engaging the core and taking our time. Inhale, and on the exhale, breathe out really slow as you round your way down to the mat. Chin can come in, scoop that belly and give it a squeeze all the way down to your back. When you get your head down to the ground, extend your legs out long. Reach your arms overhead. Inhale, reach through fingers, reach through toes. Take a really big reach. Exhale, release the tension. You're going to draw the right knee into your chest. Give it a great big hug here. Lengthening your back on the ground, feeling the entire spine touching the ground here, the back of the head. And then set that left foot to the ground, knee is up. Extend your right leg up, push through the heel. Hands are going to slide down behind the thigh. Interlace the fingers, press the thigh into the hands. Stack that heel right over the hip. Toes are reaching towards the shin. Take that left knee and allow it to fall open to the side. Take your right hand, set the elbow to the ground and let the hand touch that right thigh. And then slowly open that right thigh with the support of your hand to hold it up. Pause wherever your body stops. If the knee is bent, it's totally fine. Push through the right heel, opening up the inner thighs for just a moment. Another full breath in, feeling your contact with the floor. And that deep release on the exhale. Open your mouth, make the sigh. On the inhale, lift both legs back up. Left foot to the ground, right leg comes up. Take this right leg across your left. Let the knee bend. We're going to take the right arm and stretch it up to the outer corner of your mat. And take your left hand to your knees and allow them to drop off to the left. So creating a long line from your knee to your fingertips. And then breathe into that right side of your body. Inhale, feel the expansion. Exhale, release everything into the ground. Inhaling. Big release with your exhale. Gently draw your knees back up. Uncross your legs. Stretch your feet out nice and long. Reach through your fingertips. Reach through your toes. Take a full breath in. Open your mouth. Exhale. Let go of everything. Draw your left knee into your chest. Give it a nice big hug. Squeeze it in tight. Feel your spine anchoring down to the ground, pulling you back in, helping you feel safe, secure. And then bend that left foot, put it to the ground, and extend your left leg. Hands behind the thigh, push the heel to the ceiling, the toes to your shin. Line your heel up with your hip, so you're actually pushing your leg away a little bit and holding onto it with your hands. Exhale, feel the grounding. Your right hand comes to that right knee, let it open out to the side. Your left hand, elbow to the ground, let the fingers find the thigh. Open that left leg up, let the hand be support. Opening the legs in opposite directions for that little bit of an inner thigh stretch. Inhale. Exhale. Take one more breath. And then right foot comes back to the ground, knee comes up, left leg comes up and crosses over. Let the left foot come down. Your right hand to the knees. Your left hand stretches out at an angle. Knees fall to the right. Left arm reaches to the corner. Breathe into your left side body. Let the breath expand and stretch the ribs. And then exhale, let the breath soften and release. Inhale again. Exhale completely. Slowly draw your knees back up. Uncross your legs. Reach your legs long, reach your fingertips long, reach out through the fingers and toes. Take another deep breath in, feel the backside of your body grounded. Exhale, sink everything into the ground. Take one more breath here. Inhale, stretch as long as you can. Feel the back of the knees, the inner elbows open up. And exhale, relax. Setting yourself up for Shavasana, take your arms out to your sides, palms can turn up. Take your feet to the edges of your mat, let them roll outward. Take a little scan of your body, the back side of the body, the parts touching the ground. Let them fall very heavy into the support of the ground. The heels, the hips, the shoulders, the back of the head, they all find the support. And then let your breath begin to soften to a natural pattern. A nice gentle inhale and a soft exhale. As you settle into these few moments of Shavasana, notice the little sensations running through your body. Notice the change in your breath. Notice the ease of the mind. And just keep bringing your mind back to those contact points. Allowing yourself to feel anchored and secure. Taking as much time as you'd like here. And then when you're ready, you'll bend your knees, feet to the ground, draw the knees to the chest, A little rock side to side. Rolling over to your left side, your calm side. Take a moment here. Gently making your way back to a seated position. Know that you can always stay in Shavasana longer. Just stop the video and enjoy your time. Hands to heart if you've come to sitting. Take another breath in. Exhale, let it all go with that deep sigh. Thank you for spending this time with me. Namaste.